Mwah. Hi, Leathur Rokk here. Welcome to my channel. So, what I was going to do today was I was going to talk about blending eyeshadow and how I do it. And I was actually going to show this palette here, which is a Modern Mattes. It's a 28 color eyeshadow palette from B&H Cosmetics. But I was going to, the more I thought about it, the more I thought I wanted to work with this palette that I am using right now. This is the Strawberry Shake palette by ColourPop. I have to be very careful showing this to you because if these pop out, I won't know where to put them back. But these are the colors that we're working with here. And I might not be able to show you exactly what I have here because this was put on over 12 hours ago, and I wasn't going to do mascara on it, but I did do mascara, and then my eyelashes got wet and it smudged, and it is so hard to fix when when your mascara smudges and stuff. So I am going to try to replicate this and tie my hair back here. Tabby boy has now left my room, but we have Cassie here. Come here, baby. Oh, look at this Cassie girl. Oh, isn't she pretty? Look at the baby. Look at my little baby. Oh, it's so pretty. This is my Cassie girl. Yeah, okay. So, I got my trusty oil. Yeah, you go down the hall, you'll find out all the doors are closed. You can't get in anywhere. Nobody likes to be wakened up. Who'd have thunk it? And the time I'm filming this is 3:23 in the morning. It's just never quiet enough during the daytime. Even if my neighborhood isn't being terribly noisy, then there's somebody here blasting their television, and even if the TV's blasting in the kitchen, I can't film, so it's just easier to do it when everybody's asleep. And of course, I have paper towels at my eyes instead of tissues. That's really not smart. And I didn't wash my hands after handling my cats. That's not smart either. Good. Washcloths are really the best after you've used oil around your eyes, because oil always leaves a film on the eyes. Okay, I'm going to look in the mirror. Okay, I'm gotta be so careful. These palettes are very fragile, and I'm sick and tired of them spilling, and it's a big hassle. This is a tissue I needed. That my nose is running. My sinuses. Oh, so bad. Okay, the foundation that I'm wearing today is from The Ordinary. It's their coverage foundation. My formula is, my color is 1.0 NS. It's very fair. NS stands for neutral with silver highlights. and it's probably got to be my favorite foundation. Heck, I'm just happy that I can find colors that actually match. This seems like the very darkest people and the very lightest people have the hardest trouble finding foundations that match them. Oh, and I put a whole lot more on the eye area than I was supposed to. This is going to be fun. You know, the more I thought about blending eyeshadows, there are so many different things that people can use for a base, and a lot of times people will powder on top of their base so that their shadows will blend easier. And of course, the colors that you use will impact how easy you blend. If you use some colors which are fairly close in either lightness or darkness, then blending is easier. Whenever there is a difference in either color saturation, or if you have some cools and some warms, then it's going to be trickier to blend your eyeshadows. Or you could just pick a look that doesn't require a lot of blending. But with what I'm going to show you, it's going to show something about the technique for blending eyeshadows. And of course I have to fix my eyebrows because it's very easy to happen when you're taking some of the makeup off. Gray is not what I would really prefer to do my eyebrows, but this thick pencil is so convenient. It really covers the shape of your natural brows, so you don't have to do the guesswork. Which guesswork sometimes is what you end up doing if you have very pale hair that you're trying to just cover. Okay. Now, another thing that's going to be a little complicated, besides the fact that I didn't diagram things ahead of time, is these brushes all look like they have similar colors on them. So I'm going to have to probably get new brushes for the most part. Everything that I show you eye-wise was from the Strawberry Shake palette, except for the very palest color. For my white brow bone color, I'm dipping into the Shine Brighter palette from Ulta Beauty, and I'm using a Vivace brush. This is a kind that will deposit and blend color. It's a very good all-purpose brush, and I really want concentrated color. That's why I'm using a brush like this. Then I will very carefully hug the edge of the eyebrow. And since I applied such a thick layer of that foundation, I can really get a good coating of this. Oh, here it is. And this is covering about 1/3 of an inch thick. Now you can adjust these measurements, make them bigger or smaller depending on the eyelid space that you have. Everybody's eyes are shaped differently, everybody's heads are shaped differently, so just use the fraction that will give you the amount of coverage depending on your shape of what you got working for you. Next step, we are going to look for a color, and these are concepts that you can use for any color that you're working with, just so you know. But I am going to look for a color that is fairly similar to my skin tone. And I'm going to use a thicker brush. The general rule of thumb is lighter shades, unless it's a detailing shade like a highlighting shade, you can use a smaller brush. But generally speaking, lighter shades, you want to use maybe a bigger, fluffier brush. And when you want to get to more detail, then you would use a smaller shade. But it's really not so much about color, it's about detail. Larger brushes tend to give washes of color. Smaller detailed brushes, you can get more detail to them. So I'm going to use, this is a B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 5. And I'm going to use, there's a color called Wokk, W-O-K-E. It's actually a very pale, plummy, peachy, weird, pinky color. I'm going to go to the crease area, and I'm very lightly sweeping back and forth a couple of times. And onto the other side, finding the crease and sweeping back and forth a few times. Then I'm going to check to see that they match, that they're symmetrical. And matter of fact, the lighting back here, I don't know why it's better for checking those things, but it is. So now we're going to take a similar shaped brush, and I'm going to go for a slightly darker shade in the same palette. And I am going to use, there's a color here called Shake It Up. And tapping, just coating the very tip, the center of this brush. You don't want to go like this and get a whole lot of color, because otherwise you're just going to have too much and you're going to have a lot more blending to do. So with this little bit, just pretty much go where you did the previous color. And like that. Do this again. Probably a good idea to tap off the excess. And just go where you did before. Maybe not as thickly. Now I'm going to back up to the wall to see. Okay. Now we're going to pick this center bright color here. And this is called Take a Sip. And I am going to use the vegan B&H Cosmetics. It's a very similar brush to the other brushes I was using. The silver ones are vegan. The black ones are the Studio Pro brushes. And just tap the center of this bright color. And I'm going to do the same thing. You want to try to keep the lid space clear of any eyeshadow, because you're going to have a contrasting color on that. Do you see how as you're getting darker and darker and you're making your darker colors a little bit smaller, but you're still pretty much going over the same general crease area? The lightest shade that you used for the crease is kind of your transition shade, and then you're going deeper and deeper, just intensifying that crease. Now, let's get another one of these big fluffy brushes. And this is a B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 5. And I'm going to dip into this darker red color here called Daiquiri. And I am going to just try to keep it in the center of the crease. Do that again on this side. Now, what we're going to do is almost going to be like a modified cut crease. I'm going to use another product for my eyelid. Now, you know what? Before I do anything else, I have a bunch of foundation here and I don't want to waste it. So I'm going to put it back. Some people say you shouldn't do that because there's a chance you may be contaminating your eyeshadow. I'm just going to hope that I don't have a lot of kitty germs in there. Because, I mean, not eyeshadow, foundation. I'm hoping there's not a lot of kitty germs in there so I don't contaminate this. But I am going to get another eyelid color. This is supposed to be a concealer. It is. And it's the lightest shade that a brand called Sassy Lady makes. S-A-C-E Lady. I thought it was Sace, but and it is the color 01. It's really not that light. I'm just going to touch a tiny little bit on my finger, and I'm going to get my mirror again. And what I'm going to do is I am going to cover just this part of the eyelid here. And do this on the other side. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is I want a wet, sticky surface for eyeshadow to grab onto. But I want to try to make sure that they're about the same thickness. That's really important. It's hard to adjust it after the eyeshadow is already applied. If it looks a little uneven, just tap it with your finger. See what I did? Now, let's take a smaller brush, and this is B&H Cosmetics 17, Studio Pro 17. This may be my favorite brush they make. Maybe one of my favorite brushes, period. And I am going to, you know what? I should have started with a brand new brush here because I really don't want this to have any other color in. I'm going to break one of my own rules here. I am going to do my best to actually clean off most of this color. I'm not one to reuse brushes with different colors. I am really breaking a rule here. Now that looks pretty clean. I'm going to dip back into the Strawberry Shake. There's a color here that's rather gold, rather orangey, and it is called Berry Fine. And that's this color here. It looks absolutely like a pale orange, and it's definitely frosty. And every other color we have on our lid is matte, except for that little bit of white around the edge. Now, get a generous coating on this brush, tap off the excess, then just where you put that sticky concealer. Now do the other lid also. Get some more. You really want a thick coating. Now, probably due to your blinking your eyelids, some of this came off onto your crease. So now here's what we have to do. We have to do some color correction over that. Dip back into one of your big fluffy brushes. They had one of these lighter colors here. Try to find the brush that used the lightest crease color you used. Dip back into that, couple of taps, back onto something like Rokk, for instance, and just sweep back over so that any of this sparkly stuff doesn't come up into your crease area. Tap this, repeat on the other side. Now, time to get one of your other brushes. Go back into this brownish shade here called Shake It Up. I believe this is a brush that was used for that. Tap off the excess. Just want a little bit, just want to reinforce that crease area. Pretty much doing what we already did before. You want to have an obvious difference between this bright lid color here and this crease. Now, let's go into this really bright color here with the brush that you used for. Just tap it, just the tiniest little bit of brush of color, and just a little sweep. Again, on the other side, just a little sweep. Now I'm going to stand back here and see what this color looks like. Okay. Go a little bit back here, a little bit back here. You know what? I think it needs a little bit more of that brown color. Again, just what the whole idea is, you use your discretion. You're looking for some definition. And let's take another one of these thick brushes. And let's take some of this dark red color here. Now, you know what? This is a brush you use for that. And, oh, I can't believe, you see I just got some of the foundation, or no, some of that concealer on there. So I guess I can't use that brush. No, I'll use the edge of it. A little bit of this red color here. And just in the corner here. Just to wing it out just a little bit. And the same other side. I can't believe I actually got some of that concealer on the shadow itself. Not something I planned on doing. Now, I would like to get a little bit of color underneath here. I have been experimenting with this new brush that I got, and I'm not sure that I'm crazy about it for that purpose, but I will go ahead and I will try to replicate what I did. I'm going to go carefully in choosing color here. I'm going to go for this almost brick looking, but not quite. This is more of a bright, yeah, this one isn't as bright as this one. I'm going to carefully just touch it. You don't really have to go back and forth too much. If you do this, too much shadow comes off and then a whole lot comes underneath. Now, I'm just going to touch the lash line. And hopefully you'll have enough foundation around this area so it should adhere. This is the mascara that I'm using. This is not my favorite. I'm using it because I want to use it. It is the Ulta Beauty Bold Ambition. And this brush, it's actually a couple of combs. And I imagine if you actually have long lashes, this would probably be quite good. But all this does with my short lashes, it makes it obvious that they pretty much just stick straight out. They don't curl up. If I curled my lashes, maybe it would be better. I'm just too lazy to do it. I haven't curled my lashes in years. Whenever I try it, I just end up pinching the skin, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. I would recommend maybe it would be more practical to use a waterproof mascara with looks like this, because whenever I wear mascara anymore, my eye waters a little bit and stuff smears and it smudges on the eyelid, and if I wear it underneath, it smudges under, and so most of the time I just don't bother wearing it. And I know that it looks better to have long dark lashes, but look at it this way. Look at all the people who are naturally blonde. Maybe they do have long lashes, but they're blonde. Now, I think that can be a very nice contrast with dark eyeshadow. And if all kinds of people are celebrated, then why not those Nordic people? They're very fair, and their eyelashes, all their body hair, everything is light. And in fact, they make all different colored mascaras. I would like to get a yellow mascara, and I would like to get a pale pink mascara, and those would look really well against dark eyeshadows. So if that's okay, then I don't see any reason why a person can't rock their very pale eyelashes. Does anybody watch The Bachelor at all? I don't normally really watch shows like that, but sometimes I will if I don't have something better to watch. And one of the two main contestants, the one who's probably going to end up with the guy, she's got such long upper and lower eyelashes. And not she doesn't seem like she's wearing really any other makeup, but it just seems like they're so long and they seem so fake. And I'm not the kind of person that tries to guess what a person looks like without makeup, even if they wear a lot of makeup. But when I see her with all these impossibly long dark lashes, upper and lower, I mean, her lower lashes are so long, they're longer than most people's upper lashes, okay? And she's a pretty girl, no lie about that. But I kept on thinking, is that comfortable for her sleeping in her lashes? And isn't her, if she's going to end up marrying that guy, do you think isn't maybe he's going to eventually see her without those lashes? I mean, because I'm sure there are some women that never let their significant other see them without makeup. That's the way I always was. I don't think anybody I dated ever saw me without my makeup on. That's honest truth. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the case. Because back in the day, I didn't think about it's better for your skin to wash your makeup off at the end of the night. That was what I was always thinking of, and what so many people in my social circles thought of is you wanted to go to bed looking your best because what if there was a fire and the firemen rescued you? You want to look your best. Plus, back in the day, you never know when somebody would show up and they would want to party with you. And by partying, I don't just mean alcohol and weed. And it was so much of a 24-hour lifestyle, and I wasn't about to be letting people see me not looking my best. And now you got to worry about when is it safe to finally wash your makeup off and put all your skincare on, and hopefully that's going to be when people aren't going to be calling up to party and stuff, because now it's all about the skincare and protecting your skin and all that. So now, should I do some more on my lower lashes? Yeah, I didn't do any on my lower lashes at all, huh? That wasn't too smart. Well, it's 3:48 in the morning. I think I can be forgiven for not being very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Okay, let's see if I can get my lower lashes done without making a whole lot of mess. I don't have any more waterproof mascara right now. Actually, I have the tail end of that stuff that I haven't been able to bring myself to throw out yet. But at the dollar store, I used to get CoverGirl washable waterproof mascara, and this was when all the makeup was 50 cents. And that was good stuff. It was easy to take off, but it was still waterproof. And it's just nice knowing that I could walk down the street and not have to worry about the wind blowing against my eyeballs, making my eyes water, and then the mascara is running. That just gets so old. And today my mascara ran so badly that it wasn't just a little bit streaky. It affected my upper eyelid makeup too, and it just, and I didn't realize how bad it looked until I already got inside. And of course, nobody bothered to tell you, oh, Leathur, your makeup's running. And men don't seem to ever say that. It makes you wonder if they really don't notice. You know, I think my eyelashes are shorter on one side and longer on the other. So, does this give you a good idea of blending eyeshadow? Let's get closer to my back wall where I think the lighting is better. Does this make sense to you? Do you see how you use these colors to get a good blend? Well, I really enjoyed this palette a lot. I love these monochromatic colors, these shadow pot, these these palettes that ColourPop makes. I love that they carry on a theme, and they make it really easy to color coordinate with your outfits, and that's something I really love to do with my eyeshadows. Oh, I guess I should tell you the other makeup that I'm wearing, because sometimes I do these videos and I forget to do that, and then I don't realize till afterwards that, oh, I forgot to say the eyeshadow, or I forgot to say the lipstick or something, and that really sucks. Oh yes, I did set it down here. The lip color is B&H Cosmetics Cream Luxe lipstick, and the color is Teamo. Teamo. It's not Timo, it's Teamo. See, they like to get cute by using other languages on people. And if it's for an English audience, maybe don't assume that we know other languages, because maybe we just speak English, you know? So that's the lips color. And for my highlighter palette, I used the B&H Cosmetics Black Light Highlight. And today I went ahead and I used this frosty pinky color called On Point. For my blush color, I used, this is by CoverGirl, and this is like over 20 years old, and it is, I think they called this color Plum. And even though, you see, I guess you have to think about whether you're wearing cool or warm colors, and this palette of eye makeup has both cools and warms. So when the colors that you're using are cool and warm, then it doesn't matter whether your other colors are cool or warm, as long as it looks like it goes with things. And it looks like it goes with everything. So, and that's the important thing. If it looks like it goes with it, then it's all good. So, oh, if you're wondering what the color is for this pencil, this gray pencil, it just says Charcoal Frost, and it says made in Germany. So, that is all I know. And Tabby boy, okay, you're going bye-bye. He's going bye-bye. Are you going bye-bye? You watch. There he went. Goodbye. Elvis has now left the building. So, now you know a little bit of how I blend my eyeshadows. You can use the same techniques with any colors. If you were going to start with this palette, for instance, I would start with the white for my brow bone here. I would start with this pink. Then you go on down the line, intensifying. Then cut your crease with the cream of your choice. Then add any other lid color of your choice. It's really easy to do. And you'll find you might not even want to mess it up with an eyeliner, and use enough mascara to suit you, but the basic technique is sound, and if you do it like this, you shouldn't have to use an extra blending brush. Sometimes people will take an extra clean, fluffy brush and they will do some more blending, but if you really want to show the intensity of what we just did, you don't want to blend too much. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, maybe I might need a little bit more. I don't know. Let me take a look. Because for some reason, what I know looks really good in person, then when I go to take a picture of it, it just doesn't seem to show up enough, and that just drives me crazy. So what do you think? Do you think it's done? Alright, I think it's done. If you like if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. If you do, hit that bell notification thing so it looks like it's ringing. If it does, then you won't miss anything I post. And I know that you like to see my cats. Well, they're not here right now, but they'll be back in my next video. So that gives you another reason to subscribe. Do that and you won't miss my cats. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.